The beauty of helping others. I was in my teenage years and standing in line for circus tickets with my dad. Finally, there was only one family ahead of us at the ticket booth. This family left a deep impression on me. They had 8 children, all under the age of 12. It was clear they weren't wealthy. Their clothes were not expensive, but they were clean. The children stood in pairs behind their father, holding hands and waiting patiently for their turn. They were chatting excitedly about the clowns, elephants, and other wonders they would see that night. It was obvious from their conversation that they had never been to the circus before. Undoubtedly, that night would be a very special one in their lives. The mother and father stood proudly in front of their children, holding hands. The ticket agent asked the father how many tickets he needed. The father proudly replied, 2 for my wife and myself and 8 for our children. The ticket agent quoted the price. The mother's hand slipped from the father's and she lowered her head. The father's lips began to quiver. He leaned closer to the ticket agent and asked, "How much did you say?" The agent repeated the price. The man didn't have enough money. How would he turn around and tell his kids that he couldn't afford to take them to the circus? Seeing what was happening, my dad reached into his pocket, pulled out a $20 bill, and dropped it on the ground. We weren't a wealthy family either. My dad then bent down, picked up the bill, tapped the man on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, sir, this fell out of your pocket." The man understood what was happening. He wasn't begging, but he was clearly desperate and embarrassed. He gratefully accepted the gesture. He looked straight into my dad's eyes, took his hand in both of his, and with trembling lips said, thank you so much. This means so much to me and my family." My dad and I got back into our car and drove home. We didn't go to the circus that night, but it didn't matter at all.